Welcome back to a very basic space program. In this episode, we're gonna move our rovers around. We'll launch some rovers. We're gonna do lots of stuff with rovers and probably go to some other planets. So please join me. Right, so while we're waiting for our rover on the moon to get to its correct location and for some of our craft to build and roll out and all that sort of stuff, and we're going to send a crew up onto the space station in a little bit. I think we'll probably do that first, actually. I'm just looking and trying to decide where I want to spend science. It really doesn't matter, though, actually, where we end up spending it, because it's going to be so long till we get to it. Oh, you know what? Do we start spending a bit of funding on these big bits of stuff? Because pressurized crew tube, don't really need that. Habitation module, that looks interesting. 6 crew. Pressurized, these could be storage modules. Oh, how nice. Extendable crew tubes, cargo containers, that looks interesting. What else have we got later on? Adjustable now. Those are quite nice. If we were going to build little interesting landing base structures, I quite like the look of those. That would be quite cool. And then what else have we got? We've got just trusses, just lots and lots of trusses. So maybe a space station base thing with that would be quite cool. Large docking ports, that's not got anything interesting in it. Advanced landing. So what I'm going to first of all go is take a stage combustion node. What I really want is to get all the way along here to, where are we? Is it it's the Raptors, isn't it? Yeah, now I want the Raptors because I noticed something. They've got an awful lot of burn time and they're awfully powerful. So interplanetary, quite good, decent vacuum thrust and everything. It's actually almost getting comparable to Hydrolox. It's actually that good, which is very nice actually. So more storable, a little more dense, possibly be a better option. We'll think about it. So we're gonna take one of those. We'll take this one, and I think we're gonna just save up and see how far we can go. I think we can go all the way. I mean, I'm just having a look. Where are we? We want to get to this one, which requires the stage combustion, which is that. That just requires that stage combustion. That requires that one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And then we're basically at Raptorville. And then that gives us some really interesting engines. And they are really cheap. I mean, stunningly cheap compared to what... Let me just... Is that really as cheap? I mean, to be fair, that's cheap as well. There's a lot of good, cheap engines coming up. Because at the moment, we're using... let's have a look. What are we using? We're using like the F1 engines, aren't we? Where are the F1 engines? They must be down here somewhere. We're using these. These are 200. We use those a lot. We use, there we go, F1 2000. So yeah, we could definitely do with the Raptors actually. That'd be quite nice. Right, let's go. Let's do some other stuff anyway. Right, so here we are launching a craft that we've launched a few times now. This is us putting a craft into orbit in a hope that we can actually dock it with our space station. It is a Dog 4E, I think it is. We're now on to this, so let's have a look at it. Anyway, so we're using ascent guidance, and you can see that I've just sped forward time here, and we've actually got Earth Gateway right there. So it's at I think it's about 250. So we're going to pop this up to 260, just higher than it, with the hope that we can actually have it catch up pretty quickly, because we may actually end up with it passing. I'm not actually sure. It's going to be a tight one. Either way, we might actually have an almost direct launch to intercept on this. So we're looking at it's about 5 minutes to orbit. Yeah, it's going to be close, isn't it? It's probably going to be about here. We're going to be about here. Well, we're going to be about here. It's going to be out here. So that's, yeah, it's an interesting one. Our angle is a bit off. That's interesting. I thought that was going to be closer. Anyway, let's see how it goes. I shall get this going. We've got the first stage is rocking on through. In fact, you know what? Let's just speed up. Anyway, the crew. Let's talk crew quickly. We have basically, I've chosen these 3 because they are the scaredest people in the world. So we've got is it Ina Schneider? Oh, hello. Ina Schneider, who is a pilot. We've got our scientist, who is Brenda Campbell, and we've got Mary Wilson, our engineer, and they're going to be trying to break the record. Ooh, hello. Bit of a jump there. Where are we coming? Oh, we're actually looking it sideways. That's why. They're going to attempt to break the record for time on orbit, which is currently held by the crew that were up there for 100 days. But we have a 180-day target, and they should be able to do it. Crew count record of 10. That's an interesting one. I wonder how much you actually get for that, whether it's an interesting number or not. Yeah, so we're obviously, you've seen this craft before. It's all wonderful. We just got to remember when we get up that we've got to activate the fuel cells and everything. And of course, it's got fuel and power on board for probably about 3 days. So we've got a while to figure things out. Right, we can see that actually closest approach is, oh, it's so close. Look at that. We're now ahead. We are now ahead. So I'm actually going to change this to 250. And by 250. 250. Yeah, no, 250. That's the, no, 0. Give me a 0. Come on. There we go. Right. And that should hopefully, so you can see, where is it? Where is it? It's just there. So we're literally just ahead of it. So closest approach is going to be, it's dropping down. Oh, it's going to be so nice actually. We could go directly into orbital pass on this one. Yeah, we could actually go with that sort of distance. We could force a closest approach. What we're looking like over here, that is coming down quickly, isn't it? Ooh, yeah. Right, okay. And now it's going up again because it's not going to do it. Right, how long have we got left? We've got about 4 seconds on that stage. Right. Oh, we've got G limit. Are we in orbit? We're not. Hello. That's interesting. What's going on there? Whoa, that's new. Is that because we changed everything there? Okay. Right, where's closest? That's closest at 60. That one is... Right, so let's try something. If I do... there we go. Forward a bit. What's it doing to this? Yeah, it is. So we're just going to put us on prograde. And we are going to bring this in as close as we can. And it's going to be a one orbit rendezvous, I think. Just got to make sure that we don't go a bit crazy on it. So we're going to just speed this up a bit in prograde. Because we're currently... Yeah, we're currently higher. That's, I suppose we're just going to pull ourselves into a slightly higher orbit. And then that will be us in a little bit of time. Right, this is an interesting one. The good thing is we've got plenty of delta V on this thing. That's interesting. So this craft actually didn't get to orbit. I suppose normally I launched about 170 by 170 and we were playing around with the target pair-ups and apoapsis a bit there. So I'll let myself off a bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to get this to the point where you can see we're bringing down our separation there just by thrusting with the RCS. And of course, because of the way the engines work, we can either use this or the engines to do it, because they're all basically the same thing. They're all advanced RCS. The little engines we've got on here are basically RCS engines. They've just got a bit more punch. So using the RCS to do this is not a big issue. We'll just bring this down to 25, and then we'll just zero out. In fact, you can see the relative speed is actually dropping. That's interesting. I did not expect that to happen. So relative speed is going to be very low when we actually get there, which means circularizing is going to be easy. We could actually get really close here within one orbit. In fact, what's the one over there? That's now close, isn't it? Oh, we're actually bringing our second encountering in closer. Okay. That is interesting. How close do we want to get? That is good. Now, the problem is that when I time warp this, it's going to throw it out. I know it is because it always does. And that's going to be annoying. But we'll see what happens. There we go, just within 100 meters. I don't want to get too close. Right, so then I want to go to add maneuver. Oh, before we do anything, better make sure that the crew's actually got a light support and everything, haven't we? So turn that on, dump water. There we go, get this on. Running, dump water, and then come over this side. We'll do the same thing. We're going to get that running and dump water. I wish you didn't have to do this, but you do. So there we go, dumping water. So that's what's that doing for us now. We have perpetual electric charge. We've got 21 days of food. I didn't realize we had that much in there. I suppose water's not a problem, but why have we got so much food in? Did I really choose to have that much? How much have we got? 7 days of that. Why have I put so much food on board? We've got 3 crew. Have we actually... You know, I wonder whether I've set the craft up because we have another version of this designed to go to the moon. And I wonder whether I changed that and then never changed it back. That might account for its fuel issue. But anyway, let us, 1 hour 35 minutes. Let's do a little bit of, hello, how are we? Can we do it? No, we can't do that. Okay, do that. There we go. And then do that. Bring me within. And of course, no doubt, it will have shifted everything. So our close approach will no longer be a close approach. Let's just be entirely honest. We're going at 700 times. It should probably slow down soon. All right, we had an interesting moment there where the whole thing decided to play very silly with us. I believe in part because we've actually gone into render range, haven't we, of the station? So the whole thing just froze up there. Worse than I've ever seen it freeze up. So we're going to put ourselves into target retrograde. So to target, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go old school. We're gonna go retrograde on this. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. We don't need you really. What I do want is I want my rendezvous planner to show me my closest approach. In fact, do I? No, I don't. We're gonna use the thing at the bottom. It's easier. Right. So within 59 meters. We'll do that. What I actually want to do is I want to rotate the craft a little bit. There we go. Just to get me a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. Just there. All right. Just rotate. There we go. Now I will have to kill some velocity very shortly. I don't know if I want to use the engines or not to do it. Actually, I could. I mean, we're coming in within 50. I probably want to dock down here somewhere. So. We're coming in pretty nice, actually. I don't really feel the need to stop. You know what? We're actually going to... it's getting very jumpy. Relative velocity minus. There we go. Right, just do that. Force roll. Thank you. Right. Here we go. It's coming in. Did I leave the bottom port open? I think I did. So we're not too problematic with that. Let's go... No, I want to go this way. That's what I want to actually do. I want to do a bit of thrust that way because we want that bottom port there. Wow, you know what? I think the game needs restarted because this is really choppy today. Oh, it's painful. Let's see. Can we just get a bit of thrust about now? And there we go. Just let us drift a bit. Right. So that's going to be our target. There we go. And I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So let us now orbit normal. We'll let this thing swing round, and then we will we'll bring it in. I need to actually do this, don't I? Oh, I hate doing this. Let's see. Well, we're there, right? Okay, so I want to go this way, actually. Bring it that way, please. That's it. And then a bit like that, yeah. We've now got a roll on the craft, which is really annoying when it happens, but it will hopefully give us a little bit of fun targeting. Right, so the thing is there. Let's have a look. Where's my thrust going now? Right. Oh no, it's that coming through. I was like, oh, we've got a new function on the nav ball. That and bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's better. Right. Here we go. Probably need to come towards you a bit. Yeah, and then we need to go this way. This is quite a heavy craft, actually, when attempting to dock, so you do need to be aware of that. And then you need to slow this down a bit. Yeah. Probably need to slow it down quite a lot, actually. Our relative velocity is a bit chunky. There we go. We're starting to get a handle on things now. And you can see, actually, the marker on the nav ball is showing us that's where we're going to be. Okay. And so this is now just a case of just wait to come in. You can see the docked craft there. They're quite cool, actually. I quite like being able to see them. I like that. I like this. I do actually like it because it looks less like we've just filled this up. But then, I don't know. I don't know which is the most efficient. This one, of course, we don't have any nitrogen on, which you do need for pressurizing these facilities. This one, however, we have nitrogen on, but it's not quite as much fuel supply. So yeah, also knocked its own antenna, its own thing off. So what we will do is, this is the first one we're going to get rid of. We're going to unload this as quickly as we can. Then we'll get rid of it. This one will sit on for longer, I think. I think I want to push this forward a bit. I want to get docked reasonably quickly. And we'll just do that. There we go. There we are. You know what? Bit more. Bit more. And then a bit more of this, and a bit more of this. Come on, hurry up. Right. It is coming in. Come on. Let's get closer. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at our closest approach distance, and I'm just playing around with that, positioning it relative to this, to try and just bring... too much. Bring us back a bit. Come on, bring it back. Do not want to hit. I was too busy looking at stuff there. Ooh, we're gonna clip. Right. Right, we have now missed. That's okay. I'm going to do that. That's all right. Come on. And then I'm going to put a little bit of thrust in. Right. Yeah. Give me just a tiny bit of forward. That's all I need. There we go. There we are. That's the one I want. Just there. There. Come on, bring it. That was me getting overconfident. It's okay. Right. I'd like to dock now, if that's possible. If that is at all possible, it would be wonderful. Come on. There we go. Docked. Oof, not brilliant. Not beautiful. Not a big fan of it, but we did it. Right. Right. We can now transfer the crew across. I'm going to move the crew across. We'll turn off the power for this, and then they will be ready to go. So let me do that, and we'll jump back. So the positive we have here actually is that, wow, we've got a year of supplies on here. That's quite staggering. We're going to leave these up for a while and see how they do, actually. I think we can get through a few different contracts, at least 2 of them, because we've got a year and a bit of supplies there. Nitrogen 7 years, perpetual oxygen, but actually we're going to shut down. Thank you. We're going to turn off the avionics here because we don't need this. So let's have a look. Shut down the avionics. Then we're going to shut off all of this. So we're going to stop dumping that. We're going to stop running that. Get rid of that so I can actually see what we're doing. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to stop running that. We're going to stop dumping that. Thank you. Stop dumping. Thank you. And then we're going to do the same on this side. In fact, you know what's easier? If we just aim the camera, it would actually help, wouldn't it? There we go. Right. And then we can stop doing that. Shut it off. Stop dumping the water. Do the same with this one. No, that's not it. That's a quad. There we go. We're going to shut that off. Stop dumping water. We can actually turn off that. We can turn off this one as well. We don't need O2 pressure controller. What we can do is then make sure all of this is locked off. I'm going to lock off the oxygen, food and water and the electric charge, even though I don't think that does anything. The others will just fill up. We can actually remove the waste and wastewater from this, which will actually free up space for maybe some more electric charge or something. And there we are. So with all that done, we can see we've got basically a year's supply of water, food, oxygen. We've got 7 years of that. We've got a huge amount of liquid hydrogen. I mean, literally, the fuel cells will last for decades. And then we've got perpetual oxygen. So we're basically okay. I've turned the fuel cells off because even though we're actually generating electricity, vast amounts of electricity with these, as soon as, now, oh, that's what I meant to check. Are you transmitting to, where's my antenna target? I want you to target, center of a body. I want you to target the moon. There you go, target the moon. Close that. Yeah, even though we are, which one's this? This is an X as well, isn't it? Yeah. You can target, I don't know, something else. You can just target something. As soon as we go in the dark and the power starts to basically be drained, our fuel cell will kick in and it'll be trying to power the entire system, so that fuel cell will quickly run out, which wouldn't be a negative to us so much until we actually try to go back anywhere. So that's something to think about. We have an awful lot of foods and storages and stuff. Is this empty yet? Have we emptied it? We have not. It's still got loads on board. Okay. So what I might do is I might actually up the priority on this. Let's empty this one first, because I think this one will be the easiest one to empty. Yeah, that 16. Are they all prioritized? What's this one prioritized as? That's okay. And then what's that? That's, might say good. Okay. So we'll empty this craft first, and you can see they've got the standard. The standard design is just the standard design now, isn't it? This little section here is on-orbit maneuvers control. It just works. We just like it. It's just a good little on-orbit maneuvers thing, and there's a lot of delta V actually on these systems. We could send up a fuel tank just to store excess bits. Is actually a thought I'm wondering about. But anyway, so we've still got 2 ports on there. Should we wish to send something else, we've got this craft actually got its own thrusters because we've got fuel tanks here, so they could actually, they use aerosine though, and I think these are aerosine. Oh, they are aerosine. So we could actually, we've got fuel tankage here should we need it, and this of course would be for station keeping and stuff like that. Anyway, crew, how are you doing? We're gonna just check that this actual contract is underway. It is, so they can basically stay on orbit now for 188 days. So let's put a marker in that. Add day gateway. We're going to go for 180 days. So let's go 180 days from now. Add the alarm. Right, where's that put me? That's all the way down here. Wow. There's a lot of transfer windows in this range. We ain't using them. So we're going to get rid of Neptune. We're going to get rid of Uranus and Uranus. Pluto is not going to happen, which is annoying. Saturn, I'm going to keep up. But then the next sort of big thing is this, and then Ceres. So I suppose we should maybe go and have a look at Luro, and then launch some craft to Mars. Yet again, we have a problem, which is that for some reason our probes are stopping doing science. Now, you all saw in previously that I've actually gone in and I've turned stuff on. So there is something going on where it's not returning them on. And I'm not entirely sure what that is. So the way we've got it set up at the moment, it turns off when we've got low power and should turn on when we've got high power. But it's not doing that. It's getting to 100% and then it's just not doing it. That is a problem for me. So it's almost as if we have to turn off this thing so that we don't care. That's all I can think, is that we just do that and then we don't care. There's some sort of conflict somewhere that is being a problem. So that one's done. I've already done the series one, so we just turn that off. We'll just leave all those there like that. Do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Don't care. It's really weird. It is just really weird. So those two are both off. Let's check. Luro, you're on. Because you never run out of power. You never have to do this, do you? Right, so you just sat somewhere, so that's not a big problem for you. So Luro 2. You are, again, you've got 27 days. You're doing fine. Wonderful. Sky Eye. Let's look at you. You are running. You're just going to keep running. You've got 19 years to run. We're going to going to get another one of you up in the sky soon. What else I look right? Okay, these are the ones. Yeah, so this has turned itself off again. Interestingly, the image spec, which is shrouded, did not turn itself off. That is just odd. So I wonder whether low power is off, high power is don't sunlight. Now this has got a link thing for the transmitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set this. I'm just going to turn this to don't care. We'll make sure that this one is on. There we go. Okay. What's going on here? Warning, dogface, liquid oxygen, relax. That's, yes, that's not it. So there's something going on somewhere where it's just not. And I suppose they've got a vast amount of data to transmit, so we're not. It's not like we're missing out on stuff apart from the fact that it's turning off the transmitter. That's the problem, because I tend to turn off the transmitter because it's one of the major things. So I just need to go through all of them and set them up. So that's going to be a real fun. Right, so I've just looked at the MEL 2, which is landed on Mars, and the mass spec has been turned off. So we've got about 80 days more work to do on that, and it's been turned off. So obviously there is a glitch here somewhere. I don't know if it's with Kerbalism, but there is something going on with the power situation where it's causing problems. Now, is that should be on? Yeah, it should be on. It's got full power. It should be on. So why is it not? That's the question. So there's something that's it's obviously having trouble and it's not checking all the time. So have I actually got science just sat anywhere that isn't actually working? Because that would be a problem. Venus orbiter is done, I think. Yes, it is. Just so many craft to check though. So I'm going to check all these and then I shall be right back. Right, I've run through them all and I think we've got everything on that we need to have on. But I think I want to keep a track of. Let's have a think. I think the Ganymede one. Let's watch the Ganymede one because we know that this has 1 day. So let's run it through to when it goes right. So it's gone past the 1 day and it's on perpetual because it's not doing science. Is it? Ah, now it's back to 1 day. That's interesting. Does it have to be selected when it jumps in and out? So what about Callisto? It's on waiting. What was the one that was landed? MEL 2. It's running. Okay. Okay, so maybe there's a slight issue with it or something. We'll have to just keep an eye on it. I will have to do that in between episodes. Right. Let's actually bring up Relay C batteries have gone. Relay C is out of power. Yeah, I seem to remember that is the one that doesn't have any actual batteries. I don't think it's going to be useful again, so we're going to get rid of it. It's done. Relay C is done. That was the 3 that we launched together, and we lost sensors and stuff and all sorts of bits and bobs for things. And I wonder whether it's just been hanging around waiting for this update situation to sort itself out. I wonder whether we've got like a glitch somewhere that's been causing this. Because that should have died earlier. Right. Right, let's have a look at. Let's just move forward and see where we get to. Right, this is now moving forward okay, but you see the times are going down, but this thing should actually, it's got perpetual. Why has it got perpetual? Have we now got to a point where we've finished enough science so it's not running out of power? Is that a possibility? Ah, now it's lost signal. Now it's got signal back and it's running. Very odd. Very strange sort of actions going on there. We have got some more science though while we've been doing that. We've got Luro 2 ready, so we can actually check has Luro 2 done? Luro 2 is done. We can go move it. So I think that's something we will probably go and do. Let's go and find a new location for Luro 2. First, however, we shall buy another bit of sciencey stuff. We will get the next stage combustion, 332, that's good. The next one is 400. We should have that shortly when Luro 2 starts moving. Wonderful. We've only got two more to go after that. So we've got 450 and then this, and then that will be, yeah, so we're looking at 1,400. We're done. Ooh, and then I don't need to do any more in that row, do I? I think that's it done. And then we can move on. We can do some other stuff. Right, we are on the surface with Luro 2 again, and yeah, it did the dropping thing. I'm not going to include it in. It started up here, it dropped, it flopped around a bit, so that is one thing to be aware of whenever we use the Bon Voyage. We have to be aware that it may drop. Right, we're going to move you, so let's see. Next, let's pick on map. Let's find our next point. So we're currently in, we're over here. We're in the sunlight, finally. So this is the... which was it? The Mercurium. Where do we want to go? I don't want Midlands. Major craters. Have we done major? We did down here. We did South Pole. And then we came up. We found that. What have we got? There's nothing much really interesting around here, is there? Nothing really. Ooh, now, what's this? What did I... It's the Highlands. What? The major craters in the Highlands. Ooh, the Atkin Basin. What is that? I want that. Is that a whole area? So I've got to go through major craters to get to it, and I've got to go major craters, major craters, major craters, major craters. So I think we're going to go to the edge of major craters. We're going to go there. So we've got major craters, Highland, Atkin thingy-doodle, what's it? We are okay for generated power. So I think we go, and we're ready to go. So this should hopefully be able to do its scanning when it gets to the point. Why is that running? It's got zero to do. Why is it actually running? Pressure scan is waiting. Okay, now is this just gonna, why is it just showing as scanning? Is that because that it's extended and it doesn't have a choice? Okay, right. Let us go back to base. So from me, until next time, have a great one.